Now, one of the hottest midfielders on the market right now goes by the names of Sandro Tonali, right? He's really the hot cake, and him, Elliot Anderson, Matthias Fernandes. Those three are really the hottest assets in the Premier League on the midfield market. And I tell you what, very many clubs are interested in Sandro Tonali. But Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to let us know that Arsenal are really trying to make contact and see to it that they obviously seal the deal of Sandro Tonali. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having super fun wherever you are. We are going to be talking Sandro Tonali to Arsenal talks. Then Bernardo Silva deal to Real Madrid's Hild, and then Cucurella has gone ahead to obviously make a promise if at all they win the World Cup with Spain. Isn't that gonna be good to be our opening video of the day? So just tighten your seatbelts and let's go eyes in here onto the Rokani Media Football. But continue to subscribe because we want to hit the magic number of 30,000 subscribers. As we speak right now onto our channel, I think we are nearing 29,300, and that's where we want to be by the end of today. So do the needful and obviously subscribe. After subscribing, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time we do upload a video onto our beautiful channel. Won't that make a lot of sense? Won't it make a lot of sense, guys? Yes, it will. And we ended the day with the World Cup opener, and obviously South Africa was beaten. I didn't come back to obviously do what we call the the match reaction, but indeed I went ahead to obviously put out a very, very huge shift in there for you, and you guys went ahead to obviously understand what I really meant in there for you. So let's head into this opening video of the day, and it's all about Sandro Tonali. We are left with 27 subscribers to hit 29,300. So please let those 27 come on this video. So please, if you're going to be watching this video and you've not gone ahead obviously subscribe to this channel, please do the needful and really subscribe in here onto this channel. We are powered by Think Landscaping. Think Landscaping are dealers in outdoor spaces. If you want to plan, design, and transform, indeed, go ahead and really do the needful. That is Think Landscaping in there for you. So do the needful and really call them those numbers. Those are their services they offer to you, and you guys, you will thank me later after calling them. So that is Think Landscaping in there for you. And they're really a great company that will help you transform your outdoor spaces. And by doing so, you will go ahead and really have a beautiful compound in here for you all garden. They even have irrigation systems. So please call them with those numbers and you'll thank me later on. So let's obviously head into this story of Sandro Tonali to a club known as Arsenal. Right? So Fabrizio Romano came up and told us the following on a Sandro Tonali deal, because I've had many of you in the comment section asking me about Sandro Tonali to Arsenal update, and here it is. Arsenal have made calls over recent days regarding Sandro Tonali. Man United appreciate the player, while Man City could be an option. More clubs could yet join the race, so the situation around Sandro Tonali may become very interesting. And he said this via his YouTube channel. So, Sandro Tonali is one of those players that Arsenal are hugely interested in. We all know to it that this interest has lived on since the January transfer window. And he was linked to Arsenal no sooner Mikel Merino went ahead to get an injury. You understand? But Arsenal looks like they are taking their time, and they've gone ahead to obviously try to know who is obviously going to be the next in line to obviously go ahead and really do the needful in that midfield and reinforce it better. Making calls over the recent days regarding Sandro Tonali, obviously, looks like they're talking to Sandro Tonali first, as every club needs to first seal a deal with the player and see what thoughts does the player hold for our club. Does he come to want and join us? But his agent, when was asked after the January transfer window on whether Sandro Tonali interest to Arsenal is genuine, he said his client is meant for such jobs. That's what they told us, that his client is meant for such jobs, and he will do the needful and really put in a very huge shift altogether at that particular side to see to it that he joins the club of Arsenal. So his agent said that Sandro Tonali is ready to go for Arsenal in there for you. So Sandro Tonali is not closing his options. That's why he's like, I can go to Man United, I can go to Man City, I can go to Arsenal. So he has not kept his cards on his chest. He's open to playing to any team, provided that team meets his salary demands, agent fees, and also the asking price from Newcastle. The asking price is £100 million. And because the asking price has been communicated to almost every club that wants to sign Sandro Tonali, guess what is going to happen? The side of Arsenal is like, let's talk to the player and we agree on the personal terms. And I think in the nearest future, if at all Arsenal have gone ahead to make a decision to obviously sign a guy known as Sandro Tonali, obviously the personal terms story will be out. But I think Arsenal have gone ahead to make calls to the entourage of Sandro Tonali to obviously go ahead and obviously seal a deal with him. When they are done with sealing a deal with Sandro Tonali, then they'll obviously make an opening bid. And it's really very shocking that Arsenal hasn't gone ahead to obviously attack this situation as we thought they would. Because if you're really having very many people you're competing with, obviously it really calls in for some quick action. And Arsenal's quick action is being waited for in here. And indeed, this might be their first step to obviously coming through and show that they want to sign this player. And they're like, let's talk to the player first. Let's first talk to the player. After talking to the player, then we will do the needful and really come at you, and then we do the needful. So that's what Arsenal has gone ahead to do. And obviously, what will they discuss with Sandro Tonali? First, the most important bit is how he fits into that club of Arsenal. And that role has to be done by Mikel Arteta. Arteta has to talk to Sandro Tonali and describe the role he wants him to play at the club of Arsenal and convince him that indeed you are obviously going to thrive at the club of Arsenal. You remember when Manchester United, Man City, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Chelsea all wanted a player known as Declan Rice. Arteta called Declan and told him that, please, I'm going to turn you into one of the best midfielders in the world. And he explained to him tactically how he's obviously going to turn him into one of those midfielders. And indeed, come his third season at the club of Arsenal, Declan Rice is being talked of as one of the best midfielders in the world. And people are even pushing that if England wins the World Cup, he should lift the Ballon d'Or. So Arteta went ahead to obviously fulfill the dream of Declan Rice, and his promise to Declan Rice has come to happening. Now, I think he can use the same scenario and obviously tell Sandro Tonali that in the summer of 2024? That's when Declan Rice came into the club of Arsenal. I told Declan Rice that I'm obviously going to turn him into one of the best midfielders in the world. And isn't he one of the best? And now I'm promising you that I'm going to turn you into one of the best midfielders in the world too. So by so doing, it will obviously put out the best of hope in Sandro Tonali that, yeah, He's a man of his word. If he made Declan Rice one of the best midfielders in the world, a player who I'm really better than when it comes to talent and everything, why don't I sign for this mighty club of Arsenal? And they are the defending champions. And he'll be like, the only way we can come up and obviously maintain what we call the only way we can come out and obviously maintain the trophy is by having you. And when I get you into this club of Arsenal, obviously things will happen on well, I tell you. So that is exactly what I think Arteta will tell to Sandro Tonali and try to convince him. Now, Arsenal is up against Man City, Man United in there for you for the signature of this player. You understand? So how will this come to pass? That is the big question, you know? That is the biggest question, by the way, alive right now as we speak, because Sandro Tonali is wanted by Michael Carrick. We don't know what words will Michael Carrick tell Sandro Tonali, because Sandro Tonali had agreed to join Man United last summer, but United couldn't obviously meet the asking price of Newcastle. This time around, it looks like they have the money, and with one midfielder in Ederson, they really want two in Sandro Tonali and Matthias Fernandes. So we wait and see whether Sandro Tonali will join Arsenal or Man City or Arsenal. For Man City, looks like they might obviously go ahead and obviously go in for Sandro Tonali, because their bid of 100 plus 20 million pounds has been turned down by Nottingham Forest. You understand? So they might obviously resort to getting the deal of Sandro Tonali done and dusted. So we are waiting to see how Arteta will come in through and obviously facilitate all this and convince the player. But talks and calls have been made to the camp and see whether they can obviously convince the player to join them. Andre Batha, with his experience and what he showcased in the summer of 2025, no one doubts his future in there for you. So that's exactly what you're really having in through from the side of Arsenal and Sandro Tonali. Calls have been made, and the rest might become interesting in the next coming days. Then Bernardo Silva deal has been sealed in 36 hours by Real Madrid. Name indicated by Jose Mourinho on Tuesday night meeting as a priority, and signed immediately to anticipate other clubs. Sandro Tonali Bernardo Silva hijack completed by Real Madrid. Madrid have gone ahead to shock Barcelona once again and once more. And it's still one of those jobs that have been perfectly done and dusted by a side known as Real Madrid. I tell you what, Bernardo is a game changer. I tell you. And if he's going to be playing for Real Madrid next season, he's obviously going to be adding a lot to what Madrid has not been having, because this guy is a world-class player. He has experience and he knows exactly what to do for a club like Man City. Sorry, for the club like Real Madrid to obviously get back to where they want to be. Respect will be commanded in that dressing room, because he's one of those that has gone ahead to disturb these Madrid players every time he played against them when he's at Man City. So the respect will be there. And Mourinho himself, being the manager, because he has been given a job here after leaving Benfica, indeed speaks volumes for the side of Real Madrid. So Bernardo is good to go. We don't know which shirt number they're obviously going to be giving him. His unveiling, I think, will happen after the World Cup. And that is it for Bernardo Silva joining Real Madrid in there for you. After that, let's obviously get to Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella has come up and obviously said the following, that he has said that if Spain wins the World Cup, he will get a tattoo of Luis de la Fuente face. Obviously, one of the favorites to win the World Cup is Spain. And although he's the favorite, there is nothing that really guarantees you to say Spain is the favorite to lift the World Cup. You know, having gone ahead to lift the Euros, I think they might come in and obviously do what they did in 2008 and 2010, because they won the Euros in 2008, and in 2010 they went ahead to lift the World Cup in South Africa. That is pain for you. So right now, Cucurella is like, if we win the World Cup, I'll tattoo my national team's coach face as a tattoo on my body. What a sacrifice. And by the way, it's one of the hardest tournaments to win. Do you know what makes it hard? It happens every 4 years. That's what makes it hard. It happens every 4 years. So wait for Marco Cucurella and what he'll do, if at all he really finds himself in a position of really winning the World Cup. So your thoughts on these stories are welcome in the comment section below. Sandro, Tonali to Arsenal calls made are welcome in the comment section below. And obviously, telling me your thoughts about Marco Cucurella tattooing himself De La Fonte's face if at all they win the World Cup. And lastly, Bernardo Silva to Real Madrid deal has been sealed. I'm out. Bye-bye.